Hello and welcome to Inhuman Kaleidoscope, Sherlock RPG Maker game developed by ojosama, available on itch.io, and well, it's about a little girl who wants to be a hero. A bit of a content warning though, this is tagged as horror, I believe, and there might be some disturbing elements. And in particular, I actually played like 10 seconds of this game at the beginning, and a bit of a trigger warning as well for sexual assault. So if you're not interested in that, then, I don't blame you if you don't want to watch. But let's begin. It's very brief though. This isn't, well, I guess we'll see. Alright. Jean, what do you want to be when you grow up? A fair princess, maybe? An astronaut? No, a stockbroker? A stockbroker? Our girl could do better than that. I mean, a stockbroker, really? I want to be a hero. Segi no Mikata. No, oh, what are we gonna do with her? Let her dream, dear. She's only 10. Ever since she was a child, the girl held that dream of hers close to her heart. She'd been taking with things like knights and superhumans, fighting for love and justice. How brightly all of them shined. Of course, nothing will come of it. Most people throw away such dreams at an age as young as 13. Those who hold ideals like that close to their heart are bound to be destroyed. Spit on, laughed at, and mocked for their sheer stupidity. In this age, there's no such thing as a hero. No such thing as romance. No tales of chivalry. From a distance, we allow ourselves to observe such things passively, but to actively participate in it invites mockery. The girl, however, is stubborn, set on fulfilling on her one desire. Despite being so weak, Jean will definitely become a hero. At a time like this, most students found themselves either asleep, cramming for an exam, or up late doing God knows what. Playing video games. Jean usually was in the first camp. However, tonight, she was in an unfamiliar bed in an unfamiliar part of town. She hated that cheap cigarette smell, and the sheets especially had seemed to have been unwashed for days. Most of all, she hated the man that was on top of her. The man, much larger than the girl in stature, anyway, I'm gonna rate this. Traces his finger down from neck to her crotch. Impatient as the man was, he wanted to savor the sight of the girl as young as her cowering under him. He paid good money for this, after all. After the recession had hit, her parents, never ones to be good with money, found themselves borrowing large sums of money that they wouldn't be able to pay back. They only wanted the best for their daughter, but when it came down to their lives, they ran and left their daughter all by herself. That sucks. Still, she believed that they one day return. I hate that sound. Anyway, I want to be strong. I want power. Okay. You desire power, don't you? I can hear it. Power? Your pleas do not go unheard. Say the binding words. Allow me into your body. We are one mind and body. We are one mind and body. Very good. Then the covenant is sealed. I shall enter your body. A strange but not wholly unpleasant feeling spread across my body. And when I came to, the man was gone, replaced by a pile of flesh. Ah yes, good. What? What's the problem? That man was about to kill you. Thank you. Are you satisfied yet? Come, there's much more work to be done. Alright. We have a JoJo stand now? That was my first meeting with my partner, Morris. He needed a life of human beings to survive, but he said that he would only be killing people who wouldn't be missed, people who deserved it. That's what a hero did, so that nobody else would get hurt. He helped me to be strong, with the only price I need to pay being the fact that I had to clean the streets of trash every once in a while. For once, I felt like I could actually help people. I was really, really grateful to him. Tonight, I have 3 targets. Let's go, Morris. What's that remind me of? That bell sound? Well, it reminds me of, I think, Demon Pack Claris, you know? Oh. Funky battle music? Ah! Don't attack me, I attack you! Random shadow people that I guess represent criminals and murderers and stuff, I guess? Very abstract. But sure. Battle finished. It's been a few weeks since he started inhabiting my body. In that short span of time, I've done so much to help others. For once in my life, I felt good about myself. Jean, what is that sound? That's just a doorbell. It's 1 a.m. over here. What the hell could they want? I'll get to it tomorrow. Probably one of those guys asking me to vote. Because we live in a democracy or something. It's weird. Oh. Hey, tough business. If you need a few minutes to clean up or something, I can tell you that I've seen much worse. Really. It's a real mess over in my apartment. Alright, or is she saying that? I can't remember. Well, or rather, I wasn't sure who's talking there. Like, is Jean saying that her apartment's a mess, or the other person? I think the other person was saying that, actually. Anyway. Alright, fine. Might as well get it over with. Sorry. I just had to take a moment. I was gonna overcook my Hot Pockets. Hot Pocket? What? How the hell do you mess up cooking a Hot Pocket? You just stick it in there for a couple of minutes. Smells like meat in here anyways. What the hell have you been cooking? You know what? Never mind. Let me just introduce myself. Sorry for being so rude. You look so smug. Jane Doe, okay? Jane Doe. I'm with the FBI. You can call me whatever, but most people just go with Miss Doe. Mind answering just a few of my questions? I know it's late, so I'll be quick about it. Sure. Thanks for your time, miss. Really appreciate it. Oh yeah, you should stay safe out there. That means no going out late at night, you hear? Alright. Good night. Is the woman gone now? Yeah, I think. She couldn't have known, right? Right on the money. Poltergeist, come out. I want you to do a little tracking for me. Poltergeist, okay? The FBI are involved. And I guess they may know about her supernatural powers. Is this just JoJo? I don't know. It feels like Morris is asking more and more from me every time, but maybe it's because he's gotten used to me. So it really hurts my body afterwards, but I've gotten strong. Maybe the pain's worth it and proof that I'm doing good. He wouldn't do anything bad to me. I should stop thinking things like that. He only wants the best for me. He really cares for me, and that's why he chose me in the first place. I'm lucky to have him. This sounds like an abusive relationship. No, I have 5 targets to kill tonight. You must kill them by pressing the fight button and pressing the attack button. What's row? I don't know. Row does nothing. They can also defend. You know, it's funny you have the option to defend, but we never use defend. Like using the defend button is just never worth it in almost every RPG game ever. I feel like. Because you're just wasting a turn, you're wasting DPS. I guess there's some exceptions though. Sometimes developers balance games around using the defend button actually. Especially when the enemy uses like a special attack. But it's very dependent on the way the developer balances the gameplay. But the past few nights, I've been waking up in odd places, not knowing what time it was or where I was or what I was even doing before. I'm scared. Really, really scared. But Morris wouldn't hurt me. It's my problem. He deserves someone better. My problem? I feel like you shouldn't say it's my problem, it's rather it's my fault, you know? Makes more sense in the context. Anyway, I don't know about this anymore. The people I think I killed last night. Well, I don't even know. You've been asking for a lot more, and I'm really grateful to you, but I don't think I can. I don't think I can handle this anymore. My mind, I'm confused all the time these days. I'm not saying you're in the wrong here. I think my body just can't handle it. I'm sorry. I want to be better for you. Can you trust me, Eugene? I trust you. Yeah, of course I trust you. You've done so much for me. Then would you be able to do me a little favor? Just a small one. I know how much it hurts for you to do this. If it's too painful for you, allow me to control your entire body. I wouldn't harm you, Eugene. You know, look at me. Look at me in my non-existent eyes. I would never hurt you. We've been through so much together. Now, just close your eyes. See? You don't have to feel pain anymore. You don't have to think anymore. Just let me do it for you. That was my face the entire time? Why does she have a antenna? You know, she's like an insect with antenna. No, I'm fading. Sleep well, Jean. Yeah. And so the gist of it is that it's turned into a big problem. The target's probably got her body hijacked with one of those metaphysical spirits from another dimension, you know, the usual. It's just the usual. The same kind as your partner, I mean. You might know something about it, but I don't want to make any assumptions here. You getting all of this? Okay. Here is, Hosakurin? I don't know. Sort of? Yeah, more or less. None of the Bendalu? None of the Bendalu know each other, you know. Well, I figured it wouldn't hurt to ask. Well, and just one more thing. Remember, we don't want to kill her. Preferably, we restrain her. Just knock her around a little. Yeah, okay, I get it. Just letting you know. Could you please turn the music off, or at least put something else on? It's giving me a headache. What? Not a fan? I just don't really want to listen to something like this right now. I guess yeah, I'm listening to the music. It does sound like not music. It sounds like noise. Actually, I'd rather just ride in silence. And I thought I was supposed to be the unfunny one here. Your taste in music just sucks. What the hell was that supposed to be? You've got to listen to it 100 times to get it, man. That's just Stockholm Syndrome at that point. You know, I can't really feel all too good about this job. I mean, she's about the same age as me, right? The girl. She's around your age, yeah. On the file we have on her, she's had it pretty rough. Poor girl. It's a shame it had to end this way, but this is all we can do now. You're doing her a favor, really. It's the only way to get that thing out of her. You're not supposed to be killing her anyways. I could have been in the same position as she is now if I were really unlucky. Well, you can at least be glad you're here with us right now, I guess. Okay, so it's kind of like a... How do you describe this? Kind of like a dual narrative kind of thing going on? I don't know if that's the right word, but you know. It's a narrative from two perspectives. Alright, we're here. She should be around the corner according to my tracking device. Tell me if you run into trouble, alright? I'll bring you my gun. You know, I use my 9mm. Alright, it shouldn't be too far from here. God, does it smell awful, though. She looks different. Oh, Christ. I thought it was gonna be bad, but not this bad. Am I gonna end up this way too if I keep on relying on, Ganymede too much? Ganymede? Ganymede. Sorry, Ganymede. Let's just focus on the mission. Ganymede, let's go. Yeah, I feel like it's JoJo. It's kind of like JoJo / Persona thing going on. Maybe SMT a bit. I mean, that Persona was based on SMT. But like, I guess people can summon just metaphysical beings from another universe and then use it as like, you know, Pokemon basically. But be careful, otherwise they take over your body. Also, I attack. Because the gameplay is very simple. I guess the game itself is not meant to be complicated in terms of like mechanics. It's just a story, really. It's just a visual novel, really, in the disguise of an RPG Maker game. You know, so there's no actual like RPG mechanic, really. Just a little bit, just like attack. That's it. Which in its own way, you know, I mean, well, I always found like what makes RPG games interesting is actually when the mechanics actually tell a story. You know? Especially when you're like fighting a boss fight and everything, it's like really hard, you know, your character's like low HP, and then suddenly you do like a special move and then you turn it all around, you know, that kind of thing, even though that's a bit of cliche, I guess, but you know, sometimes it does tell a story through the RPG mechanics. It's pretty cool. But this one seems simple. There you go. So, how'd it go? It was pretty bad. I left her alive, but she's not doing great. I think the possessor shouldn't be a problem now. That's good enough. I already called in someone to help take care of her while she's knocked out. Afraid the same might happen to you with your partner? Yeah. He started sulking because I thought that. Yidamite's a good lad. I can't see him pulling something like that on you, but it is scary having to share a body like that. Or, I share a body right that? Or, it is scary having to share a body like that. I think that's supposed to say. Can't say I've had the pleasure of having a roommate in my own body, but you've got to trust each other to work together, right? Yeah, I guess. Well, anyways, just don't think about it too much. You're gonna get a headache. Come on, it's pretty late, but I know where to get some good burgers this time of night. Let's get something to eat. What's with the developer and burgers? You know, it's the second time that characters are just getting hamburgers. It's my treat. Okay, there you go. It's pretty short. I guess it's just like a little pilot, you know, of like a little short story. Okay, I mean, it's kind of interesting. Oh, here's what Sarah looks like when she's transformed. Okay, a little concept art. She's a moth girl. Good. She's a moth woman. Amazing. There you go. I can't remember. There's probably some kind of like media that's kind of like that too, where it's like you're like combining of like some kind of like creature and then you transform. You know, it's like a mix of magical girl / JoJo, I feel. I don't know. Something like that. But there you go. I guess that's it. Again, really, really short. Just a very short story. And it's kind of more like a, how do you say? I feel like it's like a beginning of like a story, really. You know, that kind of establishes the setting of the world, right? And how like, oh, there's like these like weird demons you can make contracts with, you know? And if you're not careful, you get taken over by them, right? Is the idea. And there's also the government, somehow. The government's involved. And the government knows about this, I guess. It's very SMT, you know, in my head anyway. Because I'm reminded of Devil Survivor in particular, because that's the one I played recently. At least off screen, you know, in my own time. I replayed that game, actually. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Because, you know, it's like the government is also using these, like, monsters, I guess, these creatures, as also, like, tools for them as well, you know, which makes sense. Kind of like, you know, an arms race. Anyway, I guess that's it. Again, it really is more so a visual novel, really, more so than anything else. And I don't know, it's just really short, so it's hard to say much about it. I mean, I guess I like the idea, but I guess they didn't do much with it, which again makes sense because it's so short. So it's hard to really criticize it. But I guess it makes a good short story. You know, it just reminds me of like, you know, kind of like a pilot episode of like some kind of like anime, basically. You know, it just shows like kind of the very beginning and the general premise, and that's kind of it. I don't know. I mean, I guess the one thing I wish it would do, I mean, definitely, I feel like maybe this wasn't the focus for this game in particular, I imagine, because the developer wanted to just, you know, make something short and just complete it. But I do kind of wish there was more to the gameplay. You know, obviously, you know, there's not much to it. Kind of like, because it kind of reminds me what they tried to do with the game that I played before, actually. I played Lotus Eater Princess. You know, it's a different story, but I think in that game, what they try to do is blend in the visual novel aspects with like RPG Maker mechanics, right? And kind of blend it together. You know, my criticism for that game was that, you know, it was a little bit too much of the visual novel aspect Now, this game in particular is just mostly a visual novel and very little gameplay. So I kind of wish they, I don't know, basically just blended a little bit more. It looked like more to do during the actual RPG gameplay, basically. You know, in the RPG battles, there's like more to do, or like, I don't know, something more interesting other than just pressing attack. Like, it doesn't have to be super complicated. Even more like story during the actual battles would be interesting too. You know, I was just thinking like I compared this like other RPGs, and you know what kind of stands out in my mind is, again, usually when, you know, more of the narrative is revealed. You know, for example, when you're fighting the boss, I guess, of this game, quote unquote, when you're fighting as Samsara, maybe when you're attacking the main character, I guess, what was her name? Jean? She would be saying things, you know, as you attack her. Like, you know, some cryptic messages or whatever. I don't know, something. You know, just to set the tone, I guess. Because otherwise, it just feels kind of like monotonous. You just press attack and that's it. You know, it's kind of, you might as well skip the scene. I don't know. I don't know, something like that. Just a little bit more, a little bit of flavor, I guess. I think that's what it is. I don't know. It just feels like a little more flavor would be nice in the actual gameplay. But I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's what the developer was going for. I think they were just trying to make a visual novel. And that's it. I mean, yeah, I mean, definitely it's very dark and edgy, you know, especially in the beginning. I do feel, I mean, I don't know, it was, I think it was just implied, because I'm trying to remember, because in the very beginning, definitely, it's kind of very edgy, in the sense that, yeah, she, apparently, her parents left her, and then she was prostituting herself, I imagine, illegally, as well, but it also implied that the man was going to kill her, too, so I think, yeah, it really was, you know, what you think of it, you know, what you make of it, but it starts off very edgy, but then, you know, it turns like very supernatural, like really quickly, and it's just killing a bunch of people. I guess that's the biggest thing as well. You know why that you know why I say, like, you know, I feel like you need to add more flavor to the gameplay is because when she was like going around killing people, I feel like it kind of lost a lot of emotional impact there. You know, it's just kind of like reference to, and then when we actually like quote unquote kill people or whatever, they're just like abstract shadow creatures, and we press attack. You know, I feel like there'd be a bit more. You know, it'd be more interesting to play around with that a little bit more. You know, again, like trying to tell a story not just through words but also through the gameplay. That'd be kind of cool too. I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking. That if you know, developer ever adds to this concept or make like a different game that's kind of based on this, it'd be interesting, you know, to add more flavor, more context to the actual like combat. You know, not just like mechanics, like, you know, literal, like actual like mechanics, you know, like using spells or whatever, but more so like, you know, like for example, you kill a shadow creature and it yells or something, like, you know, and then you feel guilty about it. I don't know, something that like adds more weight to it. That makes you feel like, you know, what the character is feeling. I imagine Jean is feeling, you know, is like feeling like guilty about like just killing a bunch of people for this weird demon creature that she's dependent on. I don't know, something like that. Again, interesting concept, but like it's so short and like kind of shallow. It's like not much to it, but I like the designs though. The designs are pretty interesting. I mean, the smug like FBI agent is so smug. I don't know. I like her sort of because of that. Though we don't. I don't know. I don't know if she. I don't know. Or I was gonna say like she isn't like we don't know much about her though. You know, she's just smug. I feel like she's an FBI agent. She's smug, and that's it. That's all I know for her. Anyway. But there you go. I guess that's it for Inhuman Kaleidoscope. A lot of rambling, really. You know, that I just went through. But, you know, again, it's okay for like I guess a proof of concept, you know? There you go. I guess let me say my usual thing. I guess if you're watching the video, then if you want to see more content, then, you know, you can click on that subscribe button. You can also check out other playthroughs on my channel. If you're interested in something kind of like similar, actually made by the same developer, you should check out Lotus Eater Princess, I guess. I played the first chapter. So technically there's like a filler episode as well, like chapter 1.5 or something, I can't remember, but I didn't really play that one because it didn't seem that one interesting. But the first one I did play that one, and I don't know, I guess we'll see if the developer makes more games that are similar. But yeah, I guess also if you didn't know, I stream these games live as well. So when you subscribe, you can also click on the bell and change it from personalized to all. You're going to get notified when I go live. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see you then.